this video, I'm going to go over the building blocks of Blockly, specifically related to the XploriLab Coding Module. Now, when you get into this module, you're going to find a toolbar along the top, and then a series of menu options here on the left-hand side. Anytime you are looking to add a piece of code to your program, you're going to simply drag and drop it into the programming area of your screen. When you bring a piece of code in, you simply bring it over here, and sometimes there are drop-downs and different options you can select from. And you can find even more code items by scrolling down along the side of any given menu. Now, to add multiple lines of code, simply grab another one and bring it in. But the important thing to remember is that they can't just exist out here on their own. They actually have to go in a specific order. You have to tell the program how and when to do things. So make sure that anytime you are adding a piece of code, that it simply clicks into place. You want to make sure that every time you are creating a code, that it goes from the top, that's the beginning, and then flows down like a river. So anything at the top of your code will happen before anything lower than it. Now, these are just the basic blocks that have these little, notches cut into them that allow you to add them one after the other. Now, some of the blocks in here get a little more interesting, and they actually have these sort of mouth-looking shapes. And those allow you to add blocks inside of them, and then the mouth opens, allowing for the code. Now, at any point, if you are looking to delete a section of your code, you can either click and drag on it, and notice anything you grab at the top will grab everything under it. So you can click and drag everything down to the trash can button in the bottom corner. Or if you're only looking to delete a certain part of your code, you can grab just that piece and bring it down to the trash can. Now, if you are wanting to delete a line of code that is higher up in your code, but you don't want to delete everything under it, the way to do that is to grab whatever you want to save, set it aside, and then whatever you wanted to grab above it can be brought to the trash can. Other things to know about how to create your code is looking at the shape of the blocks themselves. So all of the blocks we've been working with have that little notch in them, which means they snap into each other really nicely. But not all of the blocks have that. If you look in the math menu, for instance, none of the blocks have that. Some of the other blocks you're going to get are the ones with these rounded edges, as well as the ones with the pointy edges. Now, these tell you how they can connect to other blocks. To use any of these blocks, they have to be input into one of the standard blocks. So you can simply grab anything round and bring it into an empty round spot on your code. Likewise, if you find any openings that have that pointier shape, you can bring any of the pointy blocks into those. So at this point, you have the basics of how to add and combine codes and things like that. So let's get ready to create your very first program. To do that, we're going to go into Display, and we're going to grab the Display text block that says Hello Xploris on it. And I'm going to bring it over here into my text environment. Now, at any point, if I'm looking for a little more room here, I can use the zooming in and out buttons on the side of my menu, which are sort of down located near the trash can. Now, I want to adjust the text here, and instead of saying Hello Xploris, I want it to say. So once you've typed that in, we are just about ready to send it. And this is going to display the text Hello World on our Xploris screen itself. But before we do that, we want to make sure the screen is clear first. So scroll and find the clear screen code and drop that right above display text. Once you've done that, you're ready to send your very first program to your Xploris device. So at the top of the screen, look for the Upload button. It will process, and when it's done processing, the screen will actually change to showing you the Python logo animating around. That's because Python is the code behind the scenes that's actually running all of these blocks. Now, to get it to switch from this to the code you've created, you're going to use the play button in the top corner. So there you go. You have now sent and created your very first code using the Xploris coding module. The rest is up to you.